Now, before you gentlemen come to me with your pitchforks, we're strictly talking about remakes that came after 2015. So even though Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Hunter x Hunter, and Rebuild of Evangelion are masterpieces that should be collectively viewed by all of humanity, I won't be including them here. So, here are 10 anime remakes you must watch. Let's go. Number 10, Kino's Journey. Out of there! This remake is pretty Kino. Kino's Journey follows 15-year-old Kino, a calm and traveler who explores a world full of diverse and strange countries. She's got a motorcycle called Hermes and some trusty handguns for protection. Kino never stays in one place for long, always moving forward with a strict 3-day rule in each country and encounters various cultures and people.
俺はあの国が安全で過ごしやすい国だって聞いてわざわざやってきた。それは本当か？
ええ。間違いないです。どれほどかはあなたの感覚にもよりますけれど。
Watching Kino's Journey is a surprisingly thought-provoking experience. Trust me, this is one of those few anime you can use that phrase for. This isn't an action-filled, suspense-filled anime series. It's more about episodic storytelling about life and humanity. You might think it's boring, but it's really not. Just give the first episode a try. The original anime came back in 2003, and this new remake pretty much ups the animation and gives you a better viewing experience. Number 9, Shaman King.
阿弥陀丸
侍の霊
この度は拙者の屈辱を晴らす機会を与えていただき感謝いたすでござる。
Shamans are the elite spiritual warriors who can see and communicate with ghosts, spirits, and gods. Every 500 years, they clash in the Shaman fight, where the winner becomes Shaman King, gaining the power to call upon the Great Spirit and reshape the world. This is where Yu Asakura comes in. He is a shaman in training who teams up with the ghost samurai Amida Maru. Together, they aim for victory, with Manta Oyamada tagging along, thanks to his rare ability to see spirits.
霊の動き、技、すべてをこの世にトレースしてしまうことだったんだ。
This remake really hits the mark for me. It sticks closely to the manga, cutting out filler and diving straight into the good stuff, especially the Oso Reizen Reservoir arc. It's emotional and long overdue on screen. The pacing zips along nicely, avoiding drag, and the characters all get their moment to shine without sidelining anyone, which is refreshing. I mean, sure, the animation isn't jaw-dropping for a 2021 remake, but this, I feel like, this is the step up from the original for all the new folk who came into the anime. Number 8, and Shirley.
私、言うことが大げさだってよく笑われるけど、大きな考えが浮かんだときは、大きな言葉じゃないとうまく表せないじゃない？
Grab your cups of tea and British accents, folks, because we're moving on to some classical romance anime. Anne of Green Gables follows the story of 11-year-old Anne Shirley, an orphan who's been shuffled from family to family. She lands at Green Gables expecting to be a farmhand boy. The Cuthberts, who are the owners of the Gables, expect a boy, but instead get a lively, imaginative girl instead. And soon, she starts shaking up the town.
横休み
眠れるわけない！こんなに辛い夜はないってことおばさんも知ってるくせに！
When I started watching this, I got a familiar feeling I couldn't figure out. Then after about 2 episodes, I found it out. It looks like one of those old Ghibli movies. It's fresh, beautifully animated, and instead of edgy action, we get a nice slice of life anime. What really stands out here is how her energy breathes life into everyone around her. This was adapted from a really old novel, and since the first adaptation's pretty old, this does a good job adapting it. Number 7, Yurusei Yatsura.
こちらー！あたるくん。
結婚するんじゃ
Remember when the US tried to shoot aliens? Now, that's not how you greet aliens. You actually marry their daughters off to a human, like Japan did. When Earth faces invasion from the Oni aliens, a chosen human must be Lum, the Oni's leader's gorgeous daughter, and a game of tag. This is where Ataru comes into play. He gets chosen and somehow manages to win. Now, Lum thinks Ataru wants to marry him and goes on to live with him.
この手に抱きしめてみせる
当たるくん、そんな正しい。
諸星君、君の使命は重要です。
David Production nails this remake, giving a fresh spin to the legendary classic without losing its original charm. Lum is basically considered the world's first tsundere, so it's like recreating Asuka's godmother. The show's playful, historic episodes also help keep things light and fun. Sure, Ataru might be an idiot, but hey, that's part of the charm. Number 6, Devilman Crybaby. This came in an era where everyone was trolling Netflix for making an anime, but they somehow did one right. Devilman Crybaby throws you into a dark world where demons need a human host to take form. Enter Akira Fudo, the ultimate softie who gets dragged by his enigmatic friend Ryu Asuka into the wildest party ever, Sabbath. Things go sideways fast when demons crash the party, turning folks into monstrous chaos. In a desperate move to save Ryu, Akira merges with the demon Amon, transforming into Devilman.
アキラくん誰その人。
飛鳥亮、僕と同い年なのにアメリカの大学で教授やってるんだ。行くぞ。
ダメ、アキラくん、そんな人についていっちゃ。
What really hooked me was the character depth. Wait, what really hooked me was the soundtrack, actually. I mean, come on, listen to this banger. Yeah, it's a masterpiece, and so's the story. Rather than a straightforward punch, you get the face plot. This actually uses a ton of symbolism to tell the story. Remember Evangelion? Not the remake, not the end of Evangelion, the original anime. Devilman Crybaby is in levels of that in terms of symbolism and storytelling, and this new Netflix adaptation really did a good job bringing the manga to life. Number 5, Ranma 1/2 2024.
500年前、若い娘が溺れたという悲劇的伝説があるのだよ。以来ここで溺れた者皆、若い娘になってしまう呪い的泉。
Ranma and his father meet the worst accidents ever. Ranma turns into a girl when splashed with cold water, and Genma becomes a panda. Yes, you heard this right. To make things more complicated, Ranma is engaged to Kane Tendo, the youngest daughter of his father's best friend. Both teens have zero chemistry and lots of bickering, but they must live under the same roof, which naturally leads to plenty of wild misunderstandings and hilarious chaos.
誰よ。
早乙女ランマです。すいません。
Ranma 1/2 is the definition of a rom-com. It's what Friends was for sitcoms. Every episode's funny, the characters are lovable, a non-existent chemistry is slowly built over time, and you can't help but love everything about this anime. The only problem with the 80s anime was the animation. It aged like milk. So guess who stepped up for the remake job? Everyone's favorite studio, MAPPA. And after several months of hard work and dead animators, we get this masterpiece. Number 4, Rurouni Kenshin.
バカな、一振りで4人5人をいっぺんに。妖術。
I love samurai. They're like the badass bros of Japan's Meiji era, but they weren't always friendly. Rurouni Kenshin follows Kenshin Himura, a wandering swordsman with a deadly past as the legendary Hitokiri Batosai. When Kenshin crosses paths with Kaoru Kamiya, owner of a struggling dojo, they unite to take down an imposter tarnishing his father's sword style. But here's the twist. Kenshin himself is the real Batosai, now sworn to protect people without killing.
カオル殿にも町の人にも切っ先一寸たりとも触れるな。相手なら拙者がいたす。
The 2023 remake nails the original's deep dive into themes like guilt, redemption, and finding your place in a changing world. The characters get the same thoughtful treatment that made the 90s classic a legend, especially Kenshin, who's as complex as they come. The animation might have not had that nostalgic flair of the old series, so this one amps it up a notch. 2 seasons are already out, so why don't you give this remake a try? Number 3, Spice and Wolf Merchant meets the Wise Wolf.
なんだと。
そうか、主は村の人間ではなかったんじゃな。すまぬの、忘れとったわ。
Oh, this is one of my favorites. Spice and Wolf follows traveling merchant Craft Lawrence, who meets a wolf goddess named Hollow in the village of Pasloe. Hollow, once worshipped for blessing the land's harvests, now just wants to return home to the north. Despite a rocky start, she convinces Lawrence to journey with her. Now, they navigate through trade routes, and Hollow helps Lawrence to do more trade because she got a PhD in economics.
わっちの本当の姿を見れば人はいつだって恐れおののいた。そうでなかったものなど数えるほどじゃ。
All I can tell is that Spice and Wolf hasn't lost its charm. The dynamic between Lawrence's smarts and Hollow's sass gives you one of the best slow burn love stories of all time. The show also deepens the relationship and world building more than before, without losing that cozy offbeat vibe. It's even more accurate to the original light novel because characters like Chloe were removed and canonical characters like Yare are added back. Number 2, Fruits Basket.
珍しいな。こんなところに女の子がいるなんて。
Now gaze your eyes upon one of the best romance anime ever. Toru Honda's life flips upside down after family tragedy leaves her homeless. Well, a tent living on the Soma's family's land, to be exact. When she meets the enigmatic Soma cousins, Yuki and Kyo, she quickly learns there's more to them than meets the eye. The Somas are cursed. When they get hugged by the opposite sex, they transform into the animals of the Chinese zodiac. Just like a lot of remakes, the Fruits Basket remake ups the animation, which is something that was seriously needed for the old show. And I also felt like the directing and the storytelling also got much better than the original. Yuki and Kyo's rivalry is both hilarious and heartfelt, and their chemistry with Toru builds up nicely without rushing things. We got 3 amazing seasons, so if you want a romance anime masterpiece, give this one a go. Number 1, Dororo. We're finishing off with one of the best remakes I've watched in my life. The greedy samurai lord Daigo Kagemitsu makes the dark pact with demons to save his dying land, trading his newborn son's body parts as payment. The child, born without limbs, eyes, or skin, is thrown out but is saved by a medicine man who equips him with prosthetics and weapons. Growing up blind and deaf, Hyakimaru embarks on a deadly quest to slay the demons that robbed him, and each time he does, he regains a part of his humanity. He's also accompanied by an orphan called Dororo.
顔がなんだどうなってんだよあんた何なんだ
The Dororo manga is among the legends. You know, the big legends like Berserk, Vagabond, and Kingdom. Dororo is right beside them. There is so much emotional storytelling and some epic writing mixed in to give you one of the best stories of all time. The chemistry between Hyakimaru and Dororo gives the show its heart, balancing grim battles with moments of genuine warmth and humor. Once again, the remake is done by your favorite studio, MAPPA. I think this came out before they started sucking the life out of their animators, but hey, it's a 10 out of 10 remake.